The following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, this is the TFfangeek, and I apologize for my review of the Studio Series 86 Dinobots. I accidentally messed up the video, so it's ended up being a two-parter. It's happened in the past. I was hoping it wouldn't happen on this special video, but regardless, here are all 5 of the Studio Series 86 Dinobots transformed into their dinosaur modes. Here is Grimlock transformed into a T-Rex. And this is what people thought that the Tyrannosaurus Rex looked like back in the 1980s. It was thought that just because the T-Rex had 2 legs that it must have walked upright, just like most bipedal animals do today, including humans. But with scientific breakthroughs in paleontology and the study of animal fossils, also scientists now know that the T-Rex actually walked in a position T-Rex walked in a position somewhat similar to this, where its body was parallel with the ground that it walked on. So this is a more accurate position for Grimlock to be in, with what scientists now know the T-Rex had its body in position for. I actually enjoy the idea of the T-Rex being like this and having its body parallel to the ground. Makes it look like it's constantly chasing at something at fast speed, and it just looks a lot more interesting. And then, of course, here is Slag, or Slug, transformed into his halt mode of a Triceratops. A pretty good range of motion on the mouth off of his. And some paleontologists have argued that out of all the species of dinosaurs that lived, the Triceratops arguably was the most ferocious one. Even though it was an herbivore that fed on plants, you did not want to cross paths with a Triceratops during the Cretaceous period when it lived, because it would without hesitation charge at anything with much more ferocity than any rhinoceros would do today in either Africa or Asia. And so, yeah, the Triceratops was highly defensive and territorial. It had to be, considering the fact that it shared the landscape with Tyrannosaurus Rex, the greatest hunter in all history. And so, for the upgrade kits that I got for Grimlock and also Snarl and Sludge, I attached them all. So there's Grimlock with his new dentures, so he has teeth throughout his entire jaw. Most parts of the upgrade kit were gap fillers. So as you can see right here on Grimlock's legs, his robot mode hands are now hidden. A lot of the gap fillers aren't really visible in dinosaur mode. Oh, and I apologize for not really showing off the upgrade kits, but after I messed up the video, and had to split it into 2 parts, I just tried to do the best I could. Good, and so here is Grimlock and Slag, next to also Dinobot Sludge. And the main upgrade kit for Sludge was that he comes with new feet that rotate upward. The official feet that Hasbro and Takatomi gave Sludge stuck down like this, and they were almost parallel with his dinosaur feet in Dino mode. And there were a set of rectangular ports on there that connected to 2 rectangular pegs here on Swoop's blaster, and the idea for weapon storage for Swoop's laser gun was that it would store on the front underside of the belly of his dinosaur mode. And let's see, here's the original trio of Dinobots standing side by side with each other. Good range of motion here with Sludge and the neck joint here. His jaw is he has the most loose lower jaw out of all 5 of the Dinobots. You can get all 5 of them into either an open-mouthed roaring position or a closed-mouthed calm position. And one thing I do like about all 5 of the Dinobots is that, as far as I can tell, all of them are entirely separate molds. None of them have are repaints or retools of each other. Here also is my second favorite of the Dinobots after Grimlock, Snarl. And so as you can see here, the upgrade kit I got for him filled the bottom of his feet, so his dinosaur feet aren't hollowed out. And he comes not only with a laser gun, but also a blast effect as well. As far as weapon storage, because Snarl came only with his sword originally, you're supposed to store it into the 5mm port here on the very top of his back, right there, and on there. So if you want to store a weapon up there, you can. But now that he has 2 weapons, thanks to this upgrade kit, I just store them on the side of the legs. And yeah, pretty interesting looking Stegosaurus. One thing I wish the designers would have done is added extra joints to Snarl's tail, so that it wouldn't be pointing all the way down to the ground and the tip wouldn't be level with his dinosaur feet. And I kind of wish they would have put another set of spinal plates here on the back of the tail, instead of leaving this big gap between the last set of spinal plates and the 4 tail spikes, like I said, he has on the end, because the the fossilized remains of Stegosaurus show that it had spinal plates running across its entire back all the way to the tail spikes. But regardless, I still enjoy how Snarl came out. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any head articulation due to the fact that his dinosaur head splits in half and stores inside the legs of his robot mode. That's true for Generation 1 Snarl, having the head split like that. And so it's very hard to find a Snarl figure that has head articulation in dinosaur mode. And last but definitely by no means here is Swoop in pterodactyl mode. One thing you can do is you can straighten up the toes and straighten out Swoop's head if you want, and you can have him standing on the ground. According to the instruction sheets that he comes with, the best weapon storage for the 2 swords that Swoop comes with is to have them sitting right here on him. If you want Swoop to be standing on a solid surface, all you have to do is rotate the swords and have them facing the opposite direction, and now Swoop can sit on a solid flat surface if you want. I had his wings in a flying position, but when you open them up all the way, wingtip to wingtip, Swoop is pretty lengthy. He's I believe as long as his wingspan is as long as his robot mode, if not taller. When you extend his neck all the way out, Swoop is, I believe, slightly longer than Sludge. Actually, they might be the same size. Yeah, they're the same size. Nice, but yeah, I'm really thrilled with how the Studio Series 86 Dinobots turned out. See if I can get them all here in shot. And yeah, it's your decision if you want to display Grimlock the way scientists have discovered the T-Rex actually displayed, which was in this almost like a charging position where the body was parallel with the ground. Or if you want to go the way they did it back in the 80s, where scientists still thought the T-Rex stood upright. But yeah, here are all 5 of the Studio Series 86 Dinobots in their dinosaur modes. And again, I apologize for having to split the video review into 2 parts, especially since it's to commemorate my channel reaching 1,000 subscribers. But it was my fault for messing up the video and having to split into 2 sections. So I'll change the video title from in the first part, or to part 1 or 2, and then this will be the second part of the review. So, the Dinobots, they weren't all released at the same time. They were released 1 year apart. Most of them were released 1 year apart from each other. After we got Grimlock and Slag, aka Slug, at the same time in 2020, it then took 1 year for the rest of their Dinobot teammates to arrive. We got Sludge in 2021, Snarl in 2022, and we finally got Swoop in 2024, 4 years after Grimlock and Slag were released. So the 4-year wait was worth it to finally complete the quintet of all five Studio Series 86 Dinobots. Just getting Snarl's face in view there. So yeah, pretty fantastic looking set of 5 Dinobots. So for the final proverbial question of most of my reviews, do I recommend getting the Studio Series 86 Dinobots and adding them to your Transformers collection, even if you have other action figures of the Dinobots? Absolutely. Out of all the modern action figures of the Dinobots that have been released by Hasbro and Takara Tomy, these guys are it. These are the quintessential action figures of the Dinobots to have in your Transformers collection. It is the Studio Series 86 versions of the Dinobots. I highly recommend getting these guys if you can. And I apologize for not doing any size comparisons with any of these figures. I was going to originally try and do that, but all things considered, unfortunately, this was the best I could do. I may do side-by-side comparison photos and upload them on Instagram or something, but yeah, overall, I'm really thrilled with how the Studio Series 86 Dinobots turned out. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been the TFfangeek, and this has been my 2-part review of all 5 of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Dinobots: Grimlock, Slag, aka Slug, Swoop, Snarl, and Sludge. I really enjoy having all 5 of the Dinobots, and I enjoy that I waited until all 5 of them were released and I was able to unbox them all at the same time and do a mega review of the complete collection of Studio Series 86 Dinobots. As of this video's recording, there's now 2 versions of Generation 2 Grimlock, and then the other Dinobots have also been released in 2 packs with their repainted into their Generation 2 colors. We got Slag and Snarl in 1 2-pack, and then the other 2-pack, which has come out recently, it has been Swoop and Sludge. Just like Grimlock, just like the blue version of Grimlock, Slag and Snarl did end up getting action figures in the Generation 2 line back in the early 90s during the days of Transformers Generation 2. Sludge and Swoop were going to have action figures in Transformers Generation 2, but their figures were ultimately cancelled, and so the 2-pack that contains repaints of these Studio Series 86 Leader Class Dinobots is a chance to finally have the Generation 2 versions of Swoop and Sludge in Transformers fans' collections. But yeah, I'm really thrilled with how the Dinobots turned out, so thank you guys all once again for 1,000 subscribers. This has been the TFfangeek, and until next time, you guys, please remember, collecting is a lifelong hobby. As long as you enjoy it, please continue to do it forever, and until next time, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.